Hey guys, welcome back to Middle Class Reactions. Today we're going to talk about the thing I'm sure you're seeing everywhere, which is the DOJ coming out saying that there is no Epstein client list. I have a lot of thoughts on this. I'm going to hold them till the end of this video. This is a 2 minutes and 42-second video where when Netanyahu came, I think it was yesterday or today's the 8th. So it was yesterday. While they were at the table there and they were doing kind of a weird press conference thing, but at the table is like Trump and a lot of high ups from the Trump administration and Netanyahu and some people from his cabinet. But one of the questions was about Epstein. Keep in mind, this question came, they announced that the DOJ found there's no client list on Sunday. This was announced, or this was asked like Monday evening. So you're not even talking 36 hours later. But let's take a look and see what they're talking about. Then I'm going to give you my thoughts.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the set?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Pam, could I just interrupt for 1
Sure.
second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Okay, so there's a lot to go over there. The first one I want to go over is the question about, was Epstein intelligence? So Epstein thing was back in 2019. This is a year before COVID. A lot of people don't remember all the details about that. The prosecutor, who was a part of the Trump administration, on record, this is in court documents, it's open source, you can find this, came out and said that the CIA came to him and said, go easy on Jeffrey Epstein because he is connected with intelligence. It's not conspiracy, that's not hearsay, that's not he said, she said. That is confirmed in court documents. That is not, it's not debatable. He was connected to intelligence according to our own CIA. And according to the prosecutor, who was also in Trump's first administration. Okay, the other one, or the one I want to go to next, is Trump saying that, are you still talking about this guy? Like, yes, we're still talking about the person who ran a giant child rape ring connected with the world's most powerful people that you are now covering up. And you were getting a question about this it was like less than 36 hours after the announcement, which happened on a Sunday evening, oddly enough, that there's no client list. The fact that he would even bring that up, like, oh, there's flooding in Texas, why are you asking me about Epstein? I don't know, maybe because it's probably the biggest scandal since JFK's assassination. Not even probably. I would comfortably say that. That's the biggest, like, obvious cover up since the JFK assassination. It trumps the Russia collusion thing. It trumps COVID. Trumps all that. It is. It. I can't understate how big of a deal this is. Um. I mean, let. So I'm having trouble with my words because it's like, not only is it hiding a child rape ring, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Trump himself, all during the election came out and was saying, we have the client list. And they would say, we have the client list. We have it. We're going over it. We're going to release the names. We're going to release it. And then for them to come out and just so obviously be like, oh yeah, the client list, yeah, that doesn't exist. Like, you can't just so obviously lie to us and then expect people to be like, oh yeah, no, he's got a point. And then not even going to go into the, I mean, I don't like using the word conspiracy, but going into the thought process that it's, kind of a coincidence that 24 hours later, Netanyahu puts in for Trump to get a Nobel Peace Prize. It's like, you can go down that rabbit hole if you want to, but I think Trump probably, I think he probably just lost the midterms, depending what happens, but people think, like, oh, the midterms are, so far away. No, 18 months. In 6 months, we'll start seeing campaign ads for the midterms. In 6 months. Midterm elections are 18 months away. So they're not that far off. And to put that in perspective, in 18 months, we'll start seeing the presidential ads and debates for the 2028 election. So, like, don't underestimate how fast time will fly. The other thing he did is if JD Vance doesn't denounce this, like, this could be the thing that makes it where people go, screw it, we're not voting for JD Vance. Whereas previous to this, people are looking at JD Vance as like, he's the next president. He's the next Republican nominee. To openly run on one of the biggest things, Epstein, JFK, no new wars, there were certain big talking points that Trump had during his election, Epstein the list being one of them. And then now to come out and be like, it doesn't exist. Like, I voted for Trump. He can't run again, but I would never vote for anyone and will never vote for anyone that he supports again. And now I am 100% convinced that he is on that list as a child rapist. For, like, no doubt in my mind that he's on that list now. Like, before, when Elon Musk was saying that he's on the list, I was like, okay, maybe Elon's just being an asshat. Like, Elon's kind of a wild guy. Now, that it's two things. One, Trump's for sure on that list. The second thing is he is openly showing, probably the Israelis, but to be seen, it's to be determined. But whoever else is on that list, he's going, hey, I got you. No matter what it does to my country, I've got you. I'm going to protect you. Protecting child rapists. It's like, okay, if there's no client list, why is Ghislaine Maxwell in prison? All these videos of what Pam Bondi and the Attorney General said, but Pam Bondi specifically, wasn't that there was tens of thousands of hours of child porn. That's not what she originally said. Originally, she said there's tens of thousands of videos of child rape. It's two very different things. That means someone else is on the island in the act. Now they're saying, like, oh, Epstein had tens of thousands of hours of kiddie porn. Was there probably that on there? Yeah, 100%. Was that probably the majority of it? Absolutely not. They absolutely have all the information. They have all the names. They know who was there. And they're openly covering it up. In my mind, like I said, this is the biggest thing since the JFK assassination. The biggest cover-up. And I hope Trump gets buried over it. If I've never, ever said these words, I think that's an impeachable offense. Without a doubt. Hiding child rapists, there is nothing, in my mind, there is nothing worse than that. Like, there is nothing worse. But I hope his whole cabinet goes to prison over this. I know it's not going to happen, but like, I can't put into words how pissed off that makes me that this has been the result. So I don't know. We're gonna see what happens the next week. I think a lot of info is gonna come out about this, but you know, tell me your thoughts. Let me know if, especially if you voted for Trump. Let me know if you know what your thoughts are on this, and if you didn't vote for Trump and you happen to see this, let me know what you're thinking down below in the comments. Like I'm super curious. So that's all I got for you today. Sorry for the rant, but you know, I just can't. I can't get over this. Yeah, like, share, subscribe to everything you know you need to, and I'll catch y'all later.